Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Yesterday, I gave a real strong play. I also said I was going to look at the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't end up taking the Brooklyn Nets, but they ended up winning. I'm going to show you all the receipts. We went 3-0 yesterday in the VIP. We've been crushing the books. So let me just show you what the receipts are very quickly, and then I'm going to hook you guys up with one very strong parlay in the NBA. I'm going to show you one very strong parlay in this video. I'm going to show you the reasoning, and then I'm going to give you the exact numbers that I'm going with. I'm going to show you a bunch of numbers, but then I'll give you the actual receipt in this video. Now, before I get started, I do have some NFL picks for today. Those were already given yesterday, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But if you want those picks for the NFL for today, check out yesterday's video. So very quickly, I talked about this game. I said this was going to go on the under. I actually got it at a 245. Somebody reached out and said if they should get it at a 241. I wasn't so confident on the 241, and I ended up getting it at 245. You can see the grand total was 232 right here, so this was a pretty easy win. Thankfully, they did not go into overtime, otherwise I would have got crushed, but this was a decent hit. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I said I really like the Brooklyn Nets as of the spot yesterday, but I did not take them because I don't trust them at all. They have been doing horrible, and this is the reason. They only had won 12 games in the entire season. So I did not trust them to win, and I didn't take it, but even though everything looked good, I did mention that, I stayed away. So yesterday I actually did a live. I went for about 30 minutes, and I talked about player props. I talked about the NFL. I talked about the NBA. I gave away a lot of reasoning behind that if you want to check that out. But if you want the NFL stuff, that's on yesterday's video. So this is one of the players that I showed on yesterday's video. As you can see, this was very heavy, like I said. So I ended up parlaying it with the same play that I just mentioned, which is the Cleveland versus Philly on the under. I actually took it at a 246. For some reason, I thought it was 245. Anyways, this was a win. And then I also mentioned both of these players, Ron Sharp and Kawhi Leonard. This guy ended up getting canceled, so they only paid me out for one leg of this. It was still a win. All right, so that was yesterday's recap very quickly. Like you saw, there was 3 separate plays, 2 parlays. So it was actually 3 picks. So it was a 3-0, but it's counted as 2 because it was only 2 parlays. Anyway, let me get right into today's pick. The first thing I like to do is look at the back-to-back. I like to see who played yesterday and if the other team they're going against is not playing or didn't play yesterday, I should say. So this Indiana versus Detroit. Indiana's away. They played yesterday against the Pelicans. So all that really matters on this screen right here is the rest advantage. Sometimes it'll say even because both teams play, or it'll say no rest or whatever. But Detroit has a 1-day rest advantage. Sacramento has a 1-day rest advantage. And Denver has a 1-day rest advantage. Now keep that in mind about Denver because that's one of the legs of this parlay. But first, let me talk about the Lakers and the Trailblazers. There's going to be a very heavily injured game on both sides, and I'm going to show you the receipts for that. But check this out. The projected score shows that they're going to hit 115 versus 110. These are just projections, obviously. So that grand total is 225. So now keep that number in mind. They started actually at a 230 was the opening line. And I'm using the Sharp Edge tool for this. It's called the line move tool, which is inside the Sharp Edge. It's part of the Sharp Edge. So if you guys want access to this for 2 weeks for free, make sure you go to the link in the description. It's 2 weeks for free. Also, what I noticed, guys, yesterday, I felt like it was one of the better videos, longer. I explained a lot of stuff, and it actually had the lowest views. So I really would appreciate if you can please comment or like and share this video. That'll help get pushed out. I really appreciate that. So let me get started here. The Lakers 230 and went all the way down to 223. That's a huge 7-point line movement. So this says nuclear play. Obviously, this is just a line move tool. So you have to put other stuff into consideration. But in this case, it says to take a look at the under 230. Again, I don't take these numbers. These are just starting points for data. Now we start looking deeper into this, and Luka Doncic is out and Reeves is out. So both of these are big-time scorers for the Lakers. They're both out. Now, in Portland side, look at all these questionable. I'm not even going to get into it, but look at all of them right here, questionable and out. So because of all these injuries, that's the reason the line is dipping down that much. So the first leg of this will be taking the Lakers versus the Trailblazers on the under. I'm going to give you the receipt so you can see exactly what number I'm taking. But let me continue on to the next play. Before I go to the next play, guys, you can see these are the picks that I have for today already. I already threw these out in the VIP, so you would have got these about an hour and a half ago. These are just 2 picks. This is the one I'm giving away on this video. And then these are 3 player props and then 3 more NBA. This is actually a parlay, a straight bet, straight bet, straight bet, and then 3 player props. If you want access to these VIP picks, check us out for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. The link is in the description for that, or go to beastsportspicks.com. So like I mentioned previously, Denver's on a 1-day rest advantage. They're going against the very sorry Washington team. They played against Sacramento yesterday, so this supports Denver. Right here, let's get started. They're saying they're supposed to win. They're saying here the projections are supposed to win by 12 points on the Nuggets side. The line move tool also suggests that they started at a minus 11.5. They went all the way to 13.5, so it only moved 2 points. And that's already, an 11.5 is already super heavy. And you add on 2 more points, that's already an extreme level of spread. Now, one thing I don't appreciate about this is that Murray is probable, which has a little green check mark, so he should be playing. And you got Gordon, which again has a little green check mark, which usually means that he should be playing. But like I said, Jokic is out and Valanciunas is out. So they're both going to be affected here. But again, these sportsbooks are not stupid. They already added on all these. They've already baked all this stuff into the numbers. On this side, you can see Trae Young was traded over there, but he hasn't played it, I don't think. And then you got these other guys that are out. So again, they played yesterday. They traveled. These guys are on a rest advantage, and these guys over here have only won 10 games. They've lost 30 games. All right, guys, before I give you the slip, I would, once again, please ask you subscribe, comment, and share. This really helps us out. Like I mentioned, I did a very good video yesterday, and it was one of the lowest views we've had in the last 3 weeks or so. It does mean a lot if you press like, and also comment if you like these plays, if you don't like them. If you have questions, whatever, please comment. All right, guys, so what I'm doing, I'm buying this back, the Nuggets at a minus 3.5, and then I'm taking the Lakers and Portland at a under 236. If you did both of those together on FanDuel, you'll get them for minus 164. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all that are here. We just crossed about 3,300 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.